YouTube, what's popping? Welcome back to another reaction video. We've got a big one today, I feel, for me personally. Continue with Iron Maiden. I'm out of breath. I'm not doing anything, I'm out of breath. We're doing Iron Maiden, Fear of the Dark. Maybe I didn't start every video leaning back and like yelling from the top of my lungs. That's not the top of my lungs. Fear of the Dark. Rockin' Rio. Now the reason why this is a big one, transparency, blah blah blah. I have heard this song before, and we've said this before with Iron Maiden. I spoke a bit about how they're a band that I'm relatively familiar with. I know bits and pieces here and there, their bigger songs and some of their albums and stuff here and there. And there are some songs that I don't know, and that's why I'm sort of strategically picking songs as they come. So we did Hallowed Be Thy Name, which I hadn't heard before. That was a first time reaction. We did Wasted Years last, which I didn't think I had heard before until I hit play and immediately recognised it. Now we're doing one that I've definitely heard before. I don't think I've heard this since I was a wee child, so I thought it'd still be fun to do. And the reason I picked the Rockin' Rio one is because I had the Rockin' Rio DVD when I was like 8 or 9. For some reason, I really just enjoyed that when I was that age. And so we're doing that one now. Yeah, so I guess transparency, as I like to give. I A, have heard the song, and B, have seen this performance. Don't remember even a millisecond of it in my head. I'm looking at the frame that it's paused on for the start of the video, and I don't even recognise it at all, because I was quite young. But I thought, you know what, we've done songs that I knew before, and we still got, look at Wasted Years. I'd heard that song before, and I still was able to ramble about it for nearly 20 minutes. So, speaking of rambling, I'm doing that right now. So we're going to listen to Fear of the Dark, which is an all-time classic, I believe. This is one of their most revered songs. So, we're going to check out the live version.
A light in the black,
Here's our Bruce.
or just a fear of the dark.
I do vaguely remember the light in the black bit at the start. With the crowd doing the vocal bit. Oh, dude, the crowd.
Man who walks alone when I'm walking a dark room, night a strolling through the park. When the light begins to fade, sometimes feel a little strange, a little anxious when it's dark. Fear of the dark. Fear of the dark. I have a constant fear that something's always there. Fear of the dark. You. Fear of the dark. Have a phobia. Someone's always there.
We'll give it its pause here. there's so much that I could even start to talk about. There's so much that I love about it. The stage is really cool. Just as a side note, I think it's a pretty cool set. I think it's just crazy how it just speaks to like the length that they reach. And I always think this without, it's not just the Maiden, but with any artist that does something like this. I think that they're in Rio here. You know, you've got that many people, that massive crowd, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people singing your lyrics back to you. And especially somewhere like Rio, where English isn't even the native language. You know, I know a lot of people who maybe speak English pretty well and stuff. Well, I don't know really, but it's just crazy that like you know, you go to a country and you sing your music that isn't even in their native language, and yet you've still got that many people are singing it back to you and that know the words, and even unprompted to do little like the ad-libby bits at the start. I know those aren't exactly words, but like little vocally bits at the start in time with the guitar and stuff. That many people, that big of a crowd, it must be crazy. Yeah, and I guess it just speaks volumes about how their reach and how much people enjoy their music and that sort of thing. But yeah, and then another way that they perform as well. I think Bruce Dickinson's a great performer. Like he does things with his voice. In that, I said before how good of a singer I think he is, but in that first bit before he started like singing, before he started like belting out the notes and stuff, there were bits where he was almost like putting on that sort of like little villainous, creepy little voice that he does, if that makes sense. Like it was almost like talking, and he does like the little laughs and stuff, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like it just adds to it, and it's like the thought that he puts into just creating, you know, committing to the atmosphere and or contributing, I should say, to the atmosphere, not committing. So the atmosphere of the song and the narrative of the song and all that sort of stuff. I just think that sort of like vocal work that he does with it, aside from the singing, it just does a lot for the song as a whole, and yeah, the narrative and stuff of it, and it's either A, just shows how much he's committed to making it as good as possible, and the thought that he puts into it, that sort of thing, or B, is just he just is a great natural showman, and that's just coming from him without even thinking about it. But either way, it's very good. Crowd again. Dude, that shot. This is shot. Oh, he's still on it. Not a jib, what it's called? A jib's the arm.
Fear of the dark!
a long one. We'll give it a second pause. You can just tell how into the music that when they're doing this. Like each one of them individually is so into their own like role and stuff, and like playing their guitar. Well, they still do sing. So the two guitarists were like playing together up each other's face and stuff. But yeah, just like like we're like just looking at Bruce, for example. He's like moving around. He's like really like feeling the music and stuff. When the solo's going on, he's just like really like letting it go. But then he comes back in at the perfect time. Like it's just like it's not like there's thought going into this, not in a bad way, is in terms of like this is all just coming from them. This is all just like natural. This is just they're in the moment, they're feeling the music, and they're just letting it out. It's like this is like a super side note. If anyone saw the carpool karaoke with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and in that Flea is talking about a book that he read. Was it Bob Marley or someone like that wrote the book? About how the most important thing when you're making music is forgetting everything other than the music itself and that moment that you're in, and just letting yourself come out through the music and just being in that moment entirely and in the music entirely, and letting that be the way to let yourself out, and that's when someone like Flea is most comfortable, is when he's within the music. And I feel like this is a representation of that. This is that sort of thing. It's just like they're so in the music and in the performance and that sort of thing. Is that this is all just natural. They're just doing this. This is all just like coming out of them. It's crazy and it's dope. And yeah, I just wanted to say something.
When I'm walking a darker road, I am a man who walks alone.
I take the stairs when I have a perfectly good canoe. I just like walking down the stairs. A good one. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm kicking myself with that book now. I feel like was it Bob Dylan maybe? Was it one of the Bobs? I don't remember. I'll throw it on screen if I can find it. Yeah, very good song. I mean, obviously we don't need to delve too much into the lyrical content. The song is about, straightforwardly interpreted, a song about nyxophobia. Nyxophobia is, shit, sorry, I hope I wasn't loud. I'll dampen it in edit. Nyxophobia, and the thing is just like, I mean, I could take a wild guess. Is it maybe Fear of the Dark? I think that's Fear of the Dark / night. I think night sounds like it could be Latin, or nict, I should say, or nicto, nict. Sounds like it could be Latin for night, so maybe Fear of the Dark / night specifically. It's just a badass song, isn't it? It's just like one of those. It's just a classic rock / metal banger, and a brilliant performance to go with it, and a great way to end with a Austin Powers reference. 2001. When was International Man of Mystery? Not 2001. I feel like that was just after. Was it two or three? That was a joke. I don't know why I'm like actually genuinely looking up when this came out. 1997, dude, before I was even born. Who does that make feel old? Yeah, very good. Very good song, very good. Yeah, they are. They're great performance, all of them. A lot falls onto the front man to do the sort of the moving around, because they've got the stuff to do with their voice and stuff. But even like the guitarist and the way like the whole unit puts on like the show and stuff. And it was a great performance. And what else do I say? Should I just sit here for 5 minutes saying that was good, very good, I enjoy, 10 out of 10, thumb up from Reese. Thanks for watching. I'm not going to do that. Instead, we will continue on the journey and keep listening to more music. And yeah, end it here. So thank you for watching. Everyone enjoyed, and I will. I don't know why I just rubbed down my chest. See you in the next one. Peace.